Good evening, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. And tonight we've got two products in here, two different products. So this will end up being two different videos, methinks. They're both Lee products. So we'll open one of them, make a video, and then do the other one, if I can open this bag. All right, so we're going to start with this one. And for those of you who have followed my channel, you know I'm a Lee fan. Lee keeps innovating. Other manufacturers, not so much. So this little dandy device is called the Power Grip Shell Holder. Brand new. And the idea behind this is that it locks in your brass. So let me show you an old product, an old Lee product that I started with many years ago. Let's see if I can find it. I have a whole bunch of these old Lee cases, and I keep stuff in these old Lee cases, looking for the right one, which will be in the last place I check, because that's how it works. There's all my shell holders. Not this one. This is kind of similar. I never liked how this one actually worked, because I want to say this is similar in concept, that whenever I tried to use this, the chuck, the jaws that twisted never really locked in the brass. So let me leave this out as a reference. That goes there. More stuff. So this is the magic box or pile of stuff. So in here, hopefully, is this little magic wonder, and these kind of magic wonders. I don't know what size brass that number is. This is a number 19. Is that 9 millimeter? Is 19 9 millimeter? It sure is. All right, so we'll leave that out. So we've got that, and let's use, what was I going to, let's just do an example. So I have many different ways of trimming brass over the years. And I started with Lee, this kind of stuff. And what I would do is I would chuck this into a drill bit. I'd chuck this into a drill. Actually, this drill right here that's on my bench. So that would get chucked in. And then with that locked in, I would open this up, twist this open. I would put a piece of, actually, let me get a piece of brass. Obviously, I don't do this for straight-walled pistol brass, but you get the idea. And assuming this was the correct. So what I would have to do is get this in, then I would twist this shut to lock it in, and even then you can see it comes up a little, out a little. Then I would go in, and with the right sized trim piece, I would trim my brass. Well, the drill would, because the drill would then turn around and I would just hold this. So that worked. That was kind of cool, except for 5x7 by 28. Little cumbersome to hold on to. So what I did for my 5.7 by 28 was I decided Let's see if I can grab it. Let me move things out of the way because the camera will get hit. So I decided to use my Frankford Arsenal trimmer. And what I would do is effectively what I just did with this and the drill. So I would, instead of locking the brass into the drill, I would have my trimmer and, you know, one of my trimmers, the correct size trimmer, in the actual drill, and then I would go in with this by locking, you know, kind of the same kind of thing. So I would take the brass, and this is not the right size, but you get the idea. I would lock the brass in, and then I would move up through the dial, move up the pin, so it would essentially lock the brass in so that I could then trim it with the appropriately sized trimmer. And that worked pretty good too. Again, 5x7, 7x28, very, very small brass. So trying to hold it with the trimmer and everything, just not good with the fingers. So when I saw this product, the idea behind this product, I believe, is very, very similar. Push the side pin into the power grip shell holder, O-ring down, and push down so it's flush with the top. So that thingy bob in the center. Thread the appropriately knurled shell holder onto the power grip adapter until it's snug. Verify the holder is snug and depress small or large tray adapter insert. So they're using, so in this case, they're using a primer, just like I did here. So this is doing, I'm going to call this half dozen of one, 6 of another. So where I used an appropriate sized shell, in this case, Murphy's Law. In this case, number 15. So let's get a number 19. So we're talking apples to apples. There we go. So here's a 19. Whoopsie. So here's a 19. And I just was not paying attention. Let me put this together the correct way. Always hard to video. Okay, so in theory, this should, and normally it would be a D-primed case. Do I have a D-primed case up here? No, that's Murphy's Law for sure. Normally this would be a D-primed case. This is a dead primer. You'd put it in there, and notice how it doesn't lock it in right now. So I would have to adjust my wheel to have the primer seater go into the primer to lock this brass in. So a few more steps, little more proprietariness. All right, so now let's try. Let's see how this acts. With me opening it. but it looks like it wants to be potentially Lee proprietary. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out for real on the channel. Okay, so it looks like I can cut that without, if I use the razor side, without bashing the camera too bad. All right, so we keep our instructions, and that is the tool. All right, so it goes in like that, and it takes, what did I do with my number 9? That's not a number 19. Where's a number 19? So that we can, I don't think I have a number 19 of one of those, because that's usually for rifle. Let's get the knife out of the way so I don't bleed. And do I have, I don't know that I have in my collection of goodies, Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. I love that everything touches everything when you're doing something. Is this the right, are these the right shell holders? No. No. Are the green ones? I don't honestly remember. Fudgy fudgy. Are the green ones the correct? No. Okay. So we might have to go to a different shell. That's what happens when you're half prepared on the video. Half prepared on the video. And if one more thing falls out of my shelf, I'm going to throw it across the room. All right, so since we can't do what I'm trying to show you, let's find out what, so number 19. So we're going to use number 19. So the idea is to do that and then put this maybe in here. So I'm thinking maybe in here. Will that fit? Okay. So that's the idea. Now, remember when this one was in here with the same shell holder, we could not get the brass to lock in. So let's make sure that that is turned all the way down. Okay, so that's against the rubber O-ring. So now we're in here. Now we're going to see if this locks. And it doesn't. All right, so we will adjust. Yeah, I'm gonna say that that's not doing the trick for me. Did I not put this in the right way? Let's see if we have user error. Nope, I want to say that that is correct, but let's take this out. Push pin. Oh, no, I was wrong. push pin to rubber, so it came out like this. So the push pin goes rubber down. Rubber down. See, look at that one, just touching those fucking dots. Okay, so rubber down. Thread the appropriate. Okay, so we're threading the appropriate. Now we're going to thread this back on here. Okay, so you can now see that move. I don't know if you saw it. I did. Now we're going to say that's a fail. Okay, now we have a success. All right, so by adjusting my wheel, I'm able to change the height of that. So now that is locked in. That's not going anywhere. So did this really buy me any more than what I already had with my own janky solution? Not really. Not really. So we're going to call this a ho-hum kind of solution. Power grip shell holder. Does it work? Yeah, it works. But it doesn't give me, I think this was like $7. It doesn't give me anything more than I already had with my solution of using this. What did I have? Using, not this, but this one. So does this really buy me a lot more than what I had? So for, God, this is 15. This isn't, where's 9mm? 19, where's 19? Does it really buy me more than what I really had before? I think this was for 5.7 by 28. Okay, so there was my previous solution. So my solution works with less stuff. So my homegrown solution of just adjusting the primer adapter works as good as this Lee solution. This Lee solution, the same thing as what I've been doing with this. So I'm going to call my solution a more better one. Again, bingo. So I'm going to say I like what I did better than I already had it, so I didn't need to go down this path, but I did because I like Lee stuff. So I'm not going to say that this is a fail. I'm going to just say it wasn't necessary for me. And I never really liked this thing because when I would chuck this in and then this would never really lock my brass in. I don't know why. I could never get this thing to work correctly. It never, yeah, that's essentially what would happen. The brass, even with it chucked and I had resistance, the brass would never really grab. So this was junk for me. This one, I'm not going to say, this one, I'm not going to say junk, but I am going to say that's a meh, M-E-H. So I'm not going to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm just going to say, eh. So that's the end of this one. A Lee product that really didn't impress me. So this, god damn, what a night. The power grip shell holder, kind of a, I already have that capability with this, so didn't need that. Already had the solution, but worth a try to see what it would bring. And now my thumbs are all bruised from playing with this metal. So I'm going to assume that this will work fine with a Lee product. In fact, I'll probably grab my Lee bench primer just to show it, to make sure that nobody says, hey, you're shorting the product. Back in a minute. All right, to be fair is fair. Again, I wish I had a smaller piece of brass, but we will test this in a Lee product. So we will take this out. We'll take this shell holder out, and we will replace this. There we go. Okay, see? Now what's interesting is you don't see this going down. So obviously, okay, there it locks it. Okay, so maybe it doesn't need to go down. So it locks it. That's in there firm, you know. Whoops. Whoops. And maybe that's why you'd want it to go down. It's in there firm. Comes out. It's in there firm. Comes out. In there firm. All right, so for a Lee product, in a Lee product, this works as advertised. So, but again, if I was using the drill with the attached trimmer and locking my brass, my 5x7x20, that's fine. But what I prefer to do is have the stationary bit and then bring the brass to the cutter, as opposed to bringing the cutter to the brass. So personal preference. But this product does work. There proof's in the pudding. So I guess maybe it's not so fair that I tried to make it work in a non-Lee product. But my non-Lee solution gives me exactly what I need. And I'll probably leave that attached and put this somewhere in my plethora of stuff. And this will go back in here. And the beauty is you don't have to worry about, this is small primer, so you don't have to worry about large or small primer. It's the locking in the entire casing rather. So it works in a Lee product. A Lee product that works in a Lee product. Imagine that. So no surprise. Now we're done. Fair assessment.